Hi, so to start off this video I'll be waking up at 7 o'clock and starting the day. When I first get up I like to let Odetta in and just, have a little stroll, let the cat in. So to start off I like to feed them, so they both get a sachet of wet food in the morning. As you can see, they're not the most helpful when you're trying to feed them. They will both be jumping up, trying to steal food. Marigold is definitely the worst. She will be jumping up, and as soon as she gets up, she'll steal the food. Whereas Odetta you can just pick up, put back down. And here's Marigold just grabbing everything she can. So they each have their own food bowl. Marigold gets fed in the living room because she will steal Odetta's food after. So I always make sure to shut the door. It's a bit of a funny door that I clearly struggle with. You just close the door, Odetta's clearly eating already, and then just give her food on the floor. So once I've done this is when I like to go do the ferrets. So I like to open the door, and we always keep it locked just in case it gets open, because they will get lost in the house. They're quite the terrible two. And I like to go in, just greet them, see how they're doing, and then I like to start by cleaning up after them. So they have a puppy pad that keeps kind of all their wheeze and poos into one place. Makes it a lot easier than trying to scrub the floor. So we clean this every morning. As you can see, Snowdrop is being very nosy this morning. And I like to make sure it's completely flat. And then once that's done, we just double check everything in their room. So I like to make sure they've got enough food, water. We change their water every day, and their food will never go empty. They will always have constant food. I like to let them out while I do the washing up, because this is one thing I always do in the mornings. I start by doing the washing up, and as you can see by my little dances, Tommy enjoys biting ankles. And he's only doing it playfully, but it definitely makes a task when you're trying to actually do things in the house, especially washing up where you can't exactly run away from him. So I like to always start in the mornings by doing the animals first, make sure they're all happy, and then I start doing the chores. And I always tend to leave the washing up till the morning, just to give me something to do in the mornings. I always run out of things before I actually have to start my day. So now I've just gone and got my laundry, just walking back down the stairs, and little Odetta clearly spilling her water everywhere. And I like to put a load of washing on. So this is something I don't do every single morning. It's just kind of a couple of times a week. Just get a load in, and then struggle turning on the washing machine apparently. So next I like to hoover. Get all the boring chores out the way first. So all of this is before I have breakfast. So I like to give the whole house a bit of a clean, just so when I sit down for my breakfast, it is kind of just a chill out time, and you don't have to worry about any mess around. It's just nice, clean. And clearly this morning I haven't even opened the curtains, so I'm having a nice dark hoovering time. And as it's an old house, it does get very dusty, very, very dusty. So it's kind of a chore to keep it clean, and I always start by doing that. So as you can see, it's literally 8:20, I think that said. I can't even remember what time it said. So I always make a cup of tea, and I'm clearly tired this morning. I mean, look, completely missed the cup. Didn't even try to get it in there. Just a complete miss. And at the moment, I'm now on oat milk. So when this video was filmed, I was still using cow's milk, but I'm transitioning to being vegan. So that change has started. Now I'm all ready, house is clean, so I'm off to go see the horses. And we're actually doing a walk today in a lovely cat cam here. So these aren't my kind of expensive boots, these are just ones I wear in the winter just to keep my feet dry and clean. And as you can see, it's very muddy. So now that I've done that, I like to make sure the door's locked. We have a stable door, so it opens at the top and bottom, so I like to make sure that the bottom is locked. And then it's off on the journey. So the walk to the ponies is not that bad of a walk, it's about 10 minutes at maximum. Obviously this video is split up just to save the boring walk, but it's literally a walk down the road, through the orchard, and then I'm at the back of the yard. So our ponies are kept on a track system. It's the most natural way you could possibly keep a horse, and as you can see, so we've surfaced the track just to make sure that it doesn't get muddy in the winter. They have hay spread out the whole way round, and while walking down I just like to make sure that there's no breaks in the fences or anything like that. My little pony Evie, she does like to try and climb through them. So here they all are, just waiting to go into the field. We alternate which fields they go in, and they get a couple of hours a day on the grass, but we mainly keep them to the track, so they live out all year round and they don't get rugged. They kind of learn to be with the nature. And here I'm very lazy and I just climb through the fence instead of walking down to the gate. So all the ponies on this track are barefoot, as it's better for the horses as well as being better for the track they're on. They don't dig it up at all, they keep it nice and dry, and we've had quite a bit of rain lately, and as you can see, as soon as the rain's gone, one sunny day and it's all dried up and it's not all gross and swampy. This is Connie, she's a little Highland. And before I go anywhere, I always like to go over and see Evie. She's blind in her right eye, so you have to say hello to her first, just to make sure she's aware you're there. She's the most gentle horse you could ever find, so even if you did make her jump, not much would happen. And then, as you can see on the track, we have logs and branches put out, and this is to kind of encourage the horses to pick their feet up and just get them used to actually walking around different textures. We've got a couple of mounds around the track just to actually keep them on their feet and keep them moving. So I always like to pick up all the feed buckets in the morning. Lisa, the lovely lady who actually looks after them, she does all their feed early in the morning, so we don't have to. So I'm just going around the back here just to double check the electric's off. And silly me, I actually put it on and then realised it and had to turn it off again. So as you can see, we've got hay boxes all around. There'll be hay nets hung on trees, and also piles of hay onto the ground to encourage like different levels of eating. And there'll be a lot of foraging things they can get around the track as well. Up in the top right corner, we've actually got loads of gorse growing and hawthorn along the back of the track. So they have lots of different things they can see. So if you'd like to know more about a track system, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can make a video of explaining more into the benefits. I'm just bringing Evie in now and actually tying her up. I always make sure that she's got enough room so that she can graze if she'd like. She's quite a fidget, so it's a bit of a challenge to keep her in the same spot and actually standing still. This is when they started molting, so I like to go in and use kind of a harder brush to get all of like the loose fur out. I never use it on her like legs or any like hard part of her body. I only use it on like kind of the fatty muscly bits. And I take a lot of pride in Evie's mane and tail. I put too much money into it. I like to use a Brazilian hair conditioner and I use it every time I brush her hair, and anytime I see her she'll have her tail and mane brush just to make sure that it's looking as beautiful as it can. And she gets more treatment to her hair than I do. So here I'm just sectioning her hair and just making sure that I'm getting all the knots out. I use quite a lot of the conditioner in her hair, so it's fairly easy to get the knots out, and only takes a couple of brushes through to make sure it's all tang free. See, she's getting all fidgety again. So now I'm just doing her feet. She is barefoot, like I said earlier. All the ponies on the track are. She's got pretty good feet. She does get a little bit sensitive in her front feet sometimes, but we're working with the trimmer and he's trying to make sure her feet are as healthy as they can be. So I'm just waiting for everyone at the track. We quite often do a Sunday walk, and I've come up a bit earlier just to give Evie some time in the school, just to have a bit of grazing. She's a very clingy pony, so most of the time she won't leave anyway, even if I do let her off the lead rope. So here you can actually see that, like, even when I let her off, she just kind of stands near me, and she is a very, very clingy pony. And then every so often, she'll just kind of stick her head up double check I'm still here. She gets a little nose scratch and then we'll carry on grazing. And once everyone's arrived, we go for our little walk. So I quite like walking Evie in hand. She is ridden quite often. She's a stunning little pony, but we quite often like going out for our little walks just to give them time, have a bit of a forage walk and just enjoy being ponies really. So if there's anything you'd like to know about them or anything you'd like to see regarding any of the animals here, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to keep up with it. I'd like to thank you all for watching and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye.